Roman Reigns is injured and might miss Survivor Series. Team Vision cleanly defeats Team Punk. Randy Orton is done with WWE for the rest of 2025. Becky Lynch calls out WWE and Stone Cold. Great news for The Undertaker. Vince McMahon is making a return to WWE. Condolences to Tonga Loa. John Cena finally acknowledges Edge and Bryan Danielson. Zack Ryder accused of messing himself on SmackDown return. Liv Morgan takes a dig at Rhea Ripley's finisher. Let's dive right in. Team Vision cleanly defeats Team Punk. Both sides of the men's War Games team are complete after the latest episode of Raw. Drew McIntyre joined the heels on SmackDown last week after Jimmy Uso stood by his brother earlier in the night. Brock Lesnar made a shock return to realign with his former advocate Paul Heyman on Raw. If that wasn't enough, Roman Reigns made his latest return to presumably join Team Punk for the huge clash. Since both teams are set, the attention turns to what could potentially determine the victors. Something big needs to happen. The next 5 finishes are possible for the men's War Games match at Survivor Series. Number 1, Team Vision could cleanly defeat Team Punk. If WWE bookers really want to make a big statement, then Team Vision could walk out of War Games with a clean victory. Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre could simply overwhelm the good guys en route to victory. There has been too much back and forth in this ongoing feud, without one side holding an advantage for more than a week. Roman Reigns' teams have won both War Games contests he's been a part of, but things need to change. That goes double since only one member, Cody Rhodes instead of Sami Zayn, differs from last year's team. Number 2, egos on Team Vision can lead Team Punk to victory. It's safe to say that neither side of the men's War Games match is always on the same page. CM Punk and Roman Reigns don't like each other. Cody Rhodes tries to be everyone's friend. For the heels, the alpha dog mentality will come into play between Lesnar and Breaker. The Scottish Warrior also has a history with the Beast. Factor in Logan Paul's arrogance, and Team Vision is a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. The villains could have difficulty staying on the same page, giving Team Punk a win. Number 3, a betrayal on Team Punk could lead the heels to a big win. WWE has teased heel turns for a few of the biggest heroes on the roster. Jey Uso has tested the limits when dealing with his brother, Reigns, The Vision, and LA Knight. Rhodes has cheated to keep his title in matches with McIntyre and Kevin Owens. When the heels bring this up, he brushes off their words. Jimmy Uso could turn on his family. The tribal chief could decide he's more important than the team and betray Rhodes or Punk. Rhodes did take the undisputed championship from him. He also blames Punk for his elimination in the 2025 Royal Rumble. Had officials involved LA Knight, he'd likely be the one to turn. Jey Uso betraying his allies would be the most effective turn they could pull off. A heel Yeet Master could face Punk or Cody for their titles. If a heel turns on Rhodes or Punk, whoever pins them could have grounds for a title shot. Number 4, Team Punk could cleanly win the War Games match. The most predictable and boring finish for War Games would be if Team Punk simply wins. It's what happened last year, and officials haven't taken many chances with the match since it's been a part of Survivor Series. It's hard to imagine a team with both major title holders, Punk and Rhodes, and Roman Reigns losing, especially to a team where the two biggest names, Lesnar and McIntyre, haven't had significant title runs in a few years. WWE has chosen easy finishes over twists during the match, and that could be the route they choose in San Diego. Number 5, a debuting member of the Vision could help the heels win. The Vision needs the victory much more than Team Punk. Punk and Rhodes are champions, and Reigns always gets star treatment. Brock Lesnar and Logan Paul are part-timers. Despite a win over the tribal chief in Perth, Reed hasn't won gold on the main roster. Couple and McIntyre's booking against Rhodes, and it's clear the villainous side needs a big win, no matter how it comes. The Vision has only had 2 wrestlers since Rollins' injury. A new star needs to join soon. Paul and Lesnar aren't sticking around full-time, and McIntyre is on SmackDown. Having Austin Theory, Obafemi, Tony D'Angelo, or another star debut as the newest member would send shockwaves across WWE. It would also give the group the upper hand and credibility as the faction that runs Raw. Randy Orton is done with WWE for the rest of 2025. Randy Orton has been absent from WWE programming since the October 3rd edition of SmackDown. He teamed with Cody Rhodes against the Vision's Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, but was stomped by Seth Rollins during the match. The Viper could have been the final member of Team Punk, but officials opted for Roman Reigns instead. He's been more involved with the struggle against the Vision. While Orton is one of the company's biggest stars, he's wrestled a part-time schedule over the last 5 years. He could be done in WWE for the rest of 2025 for these reasons. The simple fact is that every star will not be consistently booked throughout a given year. That doubles when a star is a part-timer like Orton. While he doesn't come and go as much as Roman Reigns, he doesn't compete weekly. Once the calendar turns to 2026, WWE is already near the road to WrestleMania. Due to his spot in the industry, Orton is always booked for a featured match if not challenging for a title. Since he's not a focus right now, it doesn't mean things won't change in January. WWE has a bad track record of forgetting about mystery attacks. This happened last year with Jade Cargill's attack, which wasn't solved until months later at Elimination Chamber PLE. Someone attacked Jacob Fatu backstage ahead of a #1 contenders match against Drew McIntyre. Most faces accused Drew McIntyre of the assault, but he denied involvement. Unless Orton is revealed as the mystery attacker, there aren't many wide-open feuds or opponents at the moment. A heel turn would freshen things up, or the fact that he tried to protect Rhodes from a dangerous threat like Fatu. One of the biggest storylines of 2025 has been John Cena and his retirement tour. It involved a huge heel turn, a historic 17th title win, and a face turn ahead of SummerSlam. The latest installment included completing his Grand Slam status with an Intercontinental title win. It's also led to the Last Time Is Now tournament, event to determine his final opponent. Keeping Orton out of the spotlight since they've already crossed paths this year will prevent other names from overshadowing the final stretch. WWE will need a big star to stem the tide after Cena leaves, and Orton would be perfect for the role. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre have been feuding for the last few months. Rhodes has beaten the Scottish Warrior twice, albeit by nefarious means. He won once via countout and again by dumping McIntyre on his head while the referee was incapacitated. The frustration of losing is why McIntyre joined Team Vision for War Games. Their feud will presumably keep going after Survivor Series and into December. Orton was a side player in the feud and battled McIntyre before the American Nightmare. Since the two rivals aren't done with each other, the only impact he could have is to turn on Rhodes at the conclusion. Becky Lynch calls out WWE and Stone Cold. Becky Lynch has now called out a huge broken rule in WWE and sent a message to Stone Cold Steve Austin as well. The Rattlesnake is yet to reply. Becky Lynch has posted a video sending a message to the Rattlesnake. In the video, before he goes out to work as a manager and be ringside, Stone Cold Steve Austin says that he has collected a manager's license. This made her feel even more justified in calling out AJ Lee for deciding to come out at ringside for the Women's Championship match that Maxine was a part of. She said that Lee did not have a manager's license, which is why there was a rule violation. She said that even Steve Austin followed the rules, but then called AJ Lee absolute joke as her full form. She said she was thankful to Stone Cold for being a great example and for teaching everyone how to listen to authority members and follow the rules. She then called out the Raw general manager Adam Pearce, saying that people wanted him to right the wrong that she had lost the title immediately. Steve Austin, great wrestler, not as great as your favorite wrestler me, even follows the rules. Unlike absolute joke, because everyone is laughing at her and not in a good way, Lee. Thank you, Steve, for being a great example on how to listen to authority and follow the rules. Adam Pearce, the people want you to right the wrong. Now, BTB. Becky Lynch has been very unhappy with how she lost the Intercontinental Championship. The star lost her title match against Maxine Dupree after AJ Lee made her way out to the ring. Things went quite wrong, and she ended up getting pinned. It remains to be seen what happens next with the stars, but Lynch has been open about her issues with how she lost the title. Great news for The Undertaker. WWE Hall of Famer. The Undertaker has widely contributed to the industry following his in-ring retirement and Hall of Fame induction. Today, there's some great news for the dead man, as the company is to launch a new channel on YouTube for the legend. After his in-ring retirement and Hall of Fame induction, Mark Calloway, aka The Undertaker, started his podcast with one of his closest friends called 6 Feet Under with Mark Calloway. The show became an instant hit, and WWE eventually got its hands on the product and added Michelle McCool as the co-host to the show when it came under the company's digital umbrella. According to Variety, WWE is building a specific YouTube channel for the Phenom due to the immense success of 6 Feet Under with The Undertaker. The in-house project's success has led to the Dead Man's separate YouTube channel, and new episodes will drop every Wednesday. Steve Braband, the company's head of digital, also commented on the podcast's success. We're going to treat it like how we've expanded our YouTube presence, with this one being unique, having Taker's podcast as the centerpiece of the channel and surrounding archive content. We're really excited about it and think it'll do well, Braband said. The channel will also feature other content related to The Undertaker over the course of his illustrious career in the Stamford-based promotion. It's great news for the Phenom and his fans, as the blockbuster success of the podcast has now led to the veteran's separate channel on YouTube and more original content based around the legend. The Undertaker's final match was a cinematic classic as he defeated AJ Styles and closed WrestleMania 36 on Saturday. After his final match, the 60-year-old WWE legend spent his time giving back to the industry and showcased a different side to the audience as Mark Calloway. The Phenom is set to have a live episode of 6 Feet Under with The Undertaker in Washington, D.C. The episode takes place a day before Saturday night's main event, where John Cena will have his final ever match as an in-ring performer for the company. There's a possibility that Taker could be in attendance for the franchise player's final match in Washington. Vince McMahon is making a return to WWE. Vince McMahon could make a shocking return to WWE next month, according to reports. The former CEO of the Stamford-based promotion has been away from the company since January 2024 due to his involvement in the Janelle Grant lawsuit. However, it is possible that fans could soon see him back in WWE in some form. With John Cena's final match set for Saturday night's main event on December 13th in Washington, D.C., there have been discussions about Vince McMahon making a shocking appearance on the night. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez mentioned that there have been internal discussions in WWE over who will make an appearance at Cena's final match for the promotion. The two names that have been brought up are Vince McMahon and Donald Trump. Obviously, one of the big questions is who is going to be there for the Washington, D.C. final match of John Cena's career, Saturday night's main event. There has been a lot of talk about the possibility of Donald Trump being there. A lot of talk about the possibility of Vince McMahon being there. I don't know if either of them are going to be there, but it's certainly been discussed, he noted. Earlier, it was reported that some people within WWE firmly believe that Vince and Trump will be present for the 17-time world champions farewell match. The rumors around Vince coming back to the sports entertainment giant started to swirl around after Brock Lesnar, who was mentioned in the Janelle Grant lawsuit, made a stunning return to WWE at SummerSlam in August. For his final WWE match, John Cena will face the winner of the ongoing Last Time Is Now tournament. While the tournament has already thrown up some surprises, Hall of Famer Bully Ray isn't a fan of the idea. Speaking on the Busted Open podcast, the tag team legend said that his former boss wouldn't have supported it either, saying that Vince hated tournaments. Vince has been credited with giving Cena his big break and helping him become a global star. Fans will now have to wait and find out if he will be present when the champ bids goodbye to the squared circle. Condolences to Tonga Loa. WWE SmackDown superstar. Tonga Loa recently faced a personal loss. His beloved pet passed away. The MFT member may be a bad guy on screen, but he is known to be a huge animal lover in real life. He had been pictured with his dog on social media many times. A little while ago, Tonga took to his official Instagram handle to share several photos of his late furry friend, Samson. In the caption, Haku's son expressed gratitude to his dog for creating wonderful memories with his family and giving them unconditional love. What a wonderful time we had together. Thank you, Samson, for being part of our family and for providing us unconditional love each and every day. Until next time, baby boy. We send our deepest condolences to Tongaloa and his family at this difficult time. Tongaloa has been a regular fixture on SmackDown, along with his fellow MFT stablemates. However, their leader, Solo Sikoa, returned during the November 17th, 2025 edition of WWE Raw. He faced a returning Dolph Ziggler in the opening round of the Last Time Is Now tournament. The Street Champion didn't come to the flagship show alone and had Tala Tonga by his side. In fact, Tama Tonga was spotted in New York City but didn't make his presence felt on the show. JC Mateo and Tonga Loa were also nowhere to be seen. Regardless, Solo Sikoa managed to defeat the show-off without needing help from the 6'8" monster. The group has been running roughshod on SmackDown over the last couple of months. MFT's dominance will be put to the test when they face Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Rey Fenix, and the Motor City Machine Guns in a 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination match on the Go Home episode of WWE SmackDown before the PLE on November 29th. John Cena finally acknowledges Edge and Bryan Danielson. WWE legend John Cena recently talked about his former rivals, Edge and Bryan Danielson, ahead of his retirement. The 17-time world champion will hang up his boots in December. John Cena is at the tail end of his professional wrestling career. He is set to wrestle in his final match at Saturday night's main event on December 13th. The Triple H-led creative team is holding a Last Time Is Now tournament to determine the final opponent for the Cenation leader. In the latest edition of WWE Raw Recap, John Cena sat down with Sam Roberts and Megan Morant for a chat. During the conversation, Roberts highlighted how Cena is having some of the best matches of his career this year. Due to this, fans believe he still has more years left in him. The Cenation leader replied that he has been hearing this statement throughout different phases of his career. I've always given everything I have. So what I love is like, hey man, as a fan, I think you're having the best matches of your career right now. I have heard that through many phases of my career, he said. Cena highlighted some of the phases of his WWE career where fans believed his performances were top-notch, including the time when he feuded with the likes of CM Punk, Edge, and Bryan Danielson. The 17-time world champion added that for people to say that he was still having the best matches of his career meant a lot to him. I got to switch to the hip-hop John Cena and then was putting a lot of matches to toughen myself up. I heard that then, and then the era of Super Cena happened, and then I got put with opponents who were supposed to be bad guys, but they loved them. CM Punk giving Bryan Danielson a shot. Edge, I heard that then as well. Fast forward to the United States Open Challenge. Hey man, you're having some of the best matches of your career right now. And then for you to be able to say that now means a lot, he added. On last week's WWE Raw, John Cena defeated Dominic Mysterio to become the new WWE Intercontinental Champion and also a Grand Slam champion. During this week's edition of the Red Brands show, Dirty Dom confronted Cena once again, wanting a rematch for the title. Their rematch for the IC title was made official after the Chain Gang soldier agreed to it. However, the Cenation leader could do double duty during the Premium Live event, as he is rumored to join CM Punk's side for the men's War Games match. Many believe Jimmy Uso will be taken out of the bout with an attack, which will allow Cena to wrestle in his final War Games match. It will be interesting to see what the Triple H-led creative team has planned for John Cena's future. Zack Ryder accused of messing himself on SmackDown return. Matt Cardona's big WWE comeback as Zack Ryder just took a sharp left turn because Killer Kross came out swinging with an embarrassing allegation. Cardona returned to WWE during SmackDown's Last Time Is Now tournament, facing off against LA Knight as the mystery opponent. WWE Shop capitalized on the moment by releasing 3 new Zack Ryder shirts, which quickly landed among the platform's top sellers. Cardona couldn't resist sharing that success and took a jab at Kross while doing it. In a tweet celebrating the merch sales, Cardona threw some shade. I don't know how accurate the top sellers filter is on at WWESHOP, but it shows that the 3 new Zack Ryder shirts are the top-selling shirts. I won't let it get to my head like at real KILLERKROSSDID. That didn't sit well with Killer Kross, who fired back with a cutting response that accused Cardona of having an incident in the ring during his televised return. Hi Matt, been very busy this weekend making an honest effort in restoring the independent market unlike you. Noticing all your incessant tweets now. Very happy for you. Also, Ricker said you your tights on the powerbomb live on TV. What happened there, bro? The mention of Ricker appears to be a reference to LA Knight, who went by Sean Ricker in his pre-WWE days. Cardona hasn't responded to the accusation yet, but social media is already dissecting every angle of the match. Liv Morgan takes a dig at Rhea Ripley's finisher. Liv Morgan isn't back in the WWE ring just yet, but she's still finding ways to grab attention. New footage from the Stranger Things Season 5 red carpet on November 6th has finally made its way online, and Liv's moment on the red carpet is catching fire. The former WWE Women's Champion, who's currently recovering from shoulder surgery, was asked a question that only she could answer. What's scarier, getting slammed with Rhea Ripley's Riptide or surviving in the Upside Down? Liv didn't flinch, but she definitely had to think it over. While Ripley's devastating finisher is no joke, Morgan said one thing gives the Upside Down the edge. As brutal and scary as the Riptide is, I survived it. I don't know if I could survive the Upside Down, especially without a phone. Morgan appeared at the TCL Chinese Theater in Los Angeles for the red carpet event just weeks ahead of Stranger Things' final season drop on Netflix. Her guest spot came as part of her slow return to the public eye after being sidelined in June due to a dislocated shoulder. She was originally scheduled to face Nikki Bella at WWE Evolution 2025 before the injury changed everything. She's expected to be cleared for in-ring action in early 2026, lining her up perfectly for a potential return during WrestleMania season. In the meantime, Liv's red carpet appearances and brand deals are keeping her busy. She recently joined Dominic Mysterio and Stephen A. Smith in Lid's all-caps holiday campaign and is stacking acting credits in The Kill Room, Chucky, and the upcoming Bad Lieutenant, Tokyo. And with WWE moving to Netflix in 2025, the same platform that's home to Stranger Things, Liv's crossover from ring to red carpet isn't just smart, it's strategic. Liv Morgan might be out of action, but she's still front and center when it matters. From Ripley's Riptide to the horrors of the Upside Down, Liv isn't afraid to keep things real, even in Hollywood. Roman Reigns is injured and might miss Survivor Series. Roman Reigns is finally back on WWE Raw, and the OTC didn't wait a second to leave its impact. The head of the table confronted Brock Lesnar and executed a Superman punch. He also took Bronson Reed and stood tall at the end of the show. The actions of the OTC made it clear that he is on Team CM Punk's side against Team Vision for War Games 2025. However, WWE might plan a last-minute twist in this storyline if, when the former undisputed champion misses the Survivor Series show due to a potential injury and gets replaced by LA Knight. When Reigns made his return on Raw, fans noticed that the original tribal chief had an elbow brace in his right hand. Many predicted that Reigns could be hiding his new tattoo under the brace, but a new video recently surfaced on the internet. In this, Roman Reigns was seen massaging his right elbow and seemed a little uncomfortable. This increases the likelihood that the OTC could be hurt, and WWE may soon rule him out of television again. If the speculation is true, the Vision may take out the head of the table before Survivor Series. This leaves Reigns unable to compete in War Games. As a result, he will get replaced in this high-profile bout, with LA Knight being the realistic option. Over the past few months, the megastar has had an intense rivalry with the Paul Heyman group. He even defeated Seth Rollins as the Vision leader and feuded with him too before his real-life injury. So it will all make sense if the former United States champion replaces Roman Reigns at the last moment ahead of Survivor Series. Additionally, it will escalate the rivalry between Roman and the Vision, setting the stage for a potential Braun Breaker versus Reigns showdown in the near future. After making his return on Monday Night Raw, WWE has announced that Roman Reigns will appear in the forthcoming edition of the Red Brand. The original Tribal Chief and Brock Lesnar are both advertised to be part of Raw next week, which makes the show a must-watch edition. The mayor of Suplex City joined the Team Vision for War Games, and next week seems to be a payback time for the Beast as Roman Reigns took him out in the latest show. Also, Raw next week will serve as the go-home episode for Survivor Series, so the company may have some big plans in store for us.